Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Class 9th. Now we will start the cell organelles. Cell organelles are the small structures that are present inside the cell and they are responsible for the specific function. Each organelle have its own function, and if any problem occur in that organelle, a very big problem can be arise inside the cell. So these are the very important structures and present inside the cell, and first of all we will study the big one organelle, the most important organelle which control all the activities of the cell and responsible for all the function of the cell is the nucleus. This is the structure of the nucleus, and this structure is present in the center of the animal cell, while in plant cell it is present at a side, because when the plant cell is immature, it's present in the center, but as the cell enlarge, as the cell complete its size, the vacuole inside the plant cell become very big and it push this nucleus at one side or at the side of the cell membrane, plasma membrane. This structure includes some important parts. The first one is the nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope is the nuclear membrane is the double membrane structure present outside the cell. This is the outer one envelope and this is the inner one envelope. In these two envelopes there are present small pores, and these pores are known as nuclear pores, and these pores communicate with the cytoplasm. Material goes inside and outside through these pores as well as by the process of diffusion. Another structure very important present inside the nucleus is the nucleolus, and this is the cytoplasm of the nucleus, which is known as nucleoplasm. Nucleolus is a round structure present inside the nucleus, and this nucleolus is responsible for the formation of ribosomal RNA, and ribosomal RNA is used in the process of protein synthesis. So this is the site for production of the ribosomal RNA. The nucleoplasm consists of liquid material. Normally in non-dividing stage, the material is known as chromatin, and internal to this chromatin, chromosomes are present, which can be seen only during the division phase of the cell. When the cells start dividing, the chromatin material change into thread-like structures, and those thread-like structures are known as chromosomes. The chromosomes are made up of DNA, and they control the activities of the cell, the function of the cell. And you can also see the structure of the chromosome, that this is the structure of the chromosome. When the chromatin material change into the chromosome, they appear like this during the process of cell division. Our next organelle is the ribosomes. Ribosomes are granular parts having no cell membrane, having no membrane outside. These are just the granular structures present sometime freely in the cytoplasm of the cell and sometime attached with the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are present in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, means in plants, animals, bacteria, in all organisms these are present. But the difference is the eukaryotic ribosome is larger in size than the prokaryotic ribosome. The function of the ribosome is the protein synthesis, and as the structure mentioned, this consists of the two parts. One is the smaller subunit and the other one is the larger subunit. These two parts combine only when there is need of protein synthesis. When there is the process of protein synthesis start, these two parts combine in the cell, and when there is no protein synthesis, they disassemble from each other. The smaller unit and the larger unit separate from each other, and they freely float in the cytoplasm at that time. Okay, the next organelle is the Mitochondria. Mitochondria is the very important organelle of the cell, and this mitochondria is considered to be the powerhouse of the cell, as it is responsible for the energy production in the cell. The mitochondrial structure normally look like a shoe shape, and it consists of the two membrane. One is the outer membrane, which is smooth. This is the outer membrane, while the inner membrane form enfoldings, and these enfoldings are known as cristae. Cristae are the enfoldings that form by the enfolding of the inner membrane. Inside the inner membrane, a fluid or liquid is present, which is known as matrix, and this matrix consists of water, some organic, inorganic material, also DNA, and ribosomes are present here too. The structure of the mitochondria is important for the function of the mitochondria. Here, the cell produce energy or ATP from the food by the oxidation process. Food is oxidized and energy is released, and that energy is used for the activity of the different function. So that's why this organelle is said to be the powerhouse of the cell. The next organelle of the cell is the plasters. Plasters are the coloring material or organelles that present only in plants and in protists like algae. Actually, these are the parts which are responsible for the different function. There are three different types of these plasters, and having the separate function of each. Like one plastid are chromoplast, and they have bright colors other than green, because they are present in the colors, different colors, but other than green, having no green color. And they are normally present in the flower petals and also in some fruits and different parts of the plants. And what's the function? The function is that it helps in pollination. When insects are attracted toward the colors of the chromoplast, they help the plant in the process of pollination, in the process of transfer of pollen grain from anther toward the stigma, a step in the reproduction of the plants. The next is the leucoplast. Leucoplasts are colorless, having no color, and normally they are present in the storage parts of the plants, in those parts which are responsible for the storing of their excess material, food material. Like in some plants, there are leucoplasts are present in the stem, some in roots, and some in the leaves, and they store protein and lipids. Lipids and protein, when become in excess or extra, their protein and lipid is then provided to the leucoplast for the storage. The last or the third type of the plastids are known as chloroplast, and these are the plastids which are present only in green color, and whenever there is present chloroplast, the parts must be shown as green in plants. This is the structure of the chloroplast. Like other organelles, this consists of two membranes. One is the outer membrane, and the second one is the inner membrane. And inside the outer and inner membrane, this is the liquid portion in which different soluble and insoluble material along with the DNA, along with the ribosome is present, and this liquid portion is known as stroma. Stroma, while inner membrane inside sometime it folded itself and formed the structures like the coins, like the coin stakes upon each other, and these coin-like structures are known as thylakoid. These thylakoids are actually the membrane, the enfolding of the membrane, and they form the stakes, coin-like structures, and this is known as thylakoid. Thylakoids, when stakes upon each other, one coin-like structure is thylakoid, and when many thylakoids stakes upon each other, this is known as granum. Granum or grana. Grana and granum thylakoid linked with each other by special linkage, and these linkages are known as intergranum. These are granum. When many thylakoids join each other, this form granum, and each granum is attached with the other granum by a special connection, and this connection is known as intergranum. So this is the structure of the chloroplast, green in color, present in those parts of the plants which are responsible for the photosynthesis, the main important part and responsible for the autotrophic nature of the plants, for the autotrophic nature of the algae, bacteria, etc. This structure is responsible for the photosynthesis, for the formation of the food. Actually, those steps which are responsible for the formation of the food, for the photosynthesis, some occur in the stroma and some occur in the grana of this chloroplast.